this graph is going to be interesting because we have a phase shift and we also have a b value that is inside our parentheses. So I'm going to rewrite this y equals cosine, and I'm going to take out that 1/3 so that I have theta all by itself, plus this would be pi over 2. And we can find that by taking theta over 3 divided by 1/3 plus pi over 6 divided by 1/3. So we factored out this 1/3. I'll use a highlighter. We factored out that 1/3 from this. So we're going to, I should probably use another color. See this original angle right there? We factored out that 1/3, so we divide it out. Dividing by 1/3 is the same thing as multiplying by 3. So multiply by 3, we get theta. Hot dog. Multiply by 3, we get pi over 2. Hot dog. And that's where that comes from. So I rewrote this as y equals cosine of 1/3 times theta plus 2. Now that 1/3 is going to impact the period. So the period is equal to 2 pi over 1/3. Dividing again by 1/3 is the same thing as multiplying by 3. So we get 6 pi. So the period for this function number 7 is 6 pi. I already kind of have a problem because I can draw as much as 5 pi. I'm going to draw another tick mark after that and make it a 6 pi. That's going to make my life a little bit easier. And I'm going to do the same thing on the negative x-axis, or the negative theta axis, which would be your negative horizontal axis. So we've got our period change, and now we have a shift. Now I don't believe we have an up or down, so I'm going to, which we don't have a change in our midline. So I'm going to draw that midline at theta equals 0. Sorry, at y equals 0. And now I'm going to say, okay, we're going to shift over pi over 2. That's right there. And here we go. So pi over 2, we're at a maximum. And our maximum is 1. And then 6 pi later. Well, 6 pi later would be just shortly after 6 pi. Because we were here at 1/2 pi, right? So here we'll be at 6.5 pi. So I'm just going to go a little bit past here. So we're going to go just a little bit past 6 pi. And then halfway between that, pi over 2 and 6 pi, it's a little bit past 3 pi. And our point isn't at the maximum, our point is at the minimum. And then halfway between our max and our min, we're at the midline, we're at the midline. Going to continue the same over here. And then we draw our vertical asymptotes where the curve is going through the midline. And then we have our U's opening up. Keep forgetting to do that. Opening up and opening down. Opening up and opening down. And then partially opening up right there. So this one really you should be able to try. But I'm going to work it out for those of you that need to see it one more time. So we're going to need to pull out the value that's being multiplied to theta, and that would be 1/2. So we're going to factor that out. So that's that 1/2 right there. And then that's going to leave us a theta minus, now pi over 3 divided by 1/2 is 2 pi over 3. So this shift is going to go right 2 pi over 3. The period is 2 pi divided by 1/2, which is 4 pi. So 4 pi is going to be right about there. But we're shifting over 2 pi over 3. So 2 pi over 3 is right past pi over 2. So we're going to be somewhere right about there. This is the secant curve. So cosine, yay, because I wrote secant right there. Should have wrote cosine. The cosine curve starts at its maximum, and then 2 pi later ends at its maximum. And then halfway between, it's at its minimum. And then halfway between, it's at the midline, and hopefully you get the gist of what's going on. We would draw those vertical asymptotes. We would be opening up, we would be opening down. Yeah. I just said that too. I keep doing that. And this would continue. And then you draw another one over here. And then you draw another one over there. And we're good. Yay!